You guys know the Haw Tua Girl, right?
I don't know as much about this. I haven't seen the video. I've seen it going around. I didn't realize it was a sex thing.
Well, Matt introduced it to when I was on Left Reckoning. I hadn't heard too much. I did a little research before going on your show, scientific research.
Yeah, she's a girl named Haley from Tennessee who was out in Nashville, I think. And there's those people who do those interviews where they just ask people on the street sort of questions. And the question was like, how do you spice things up in the bedroom? And she said, you got to Haw Tua and spit on that thing. And it went probably as viral as anything has gone in a
very long time. I mean, since the chocolate... Since the Chocolate Rain Singer on YouTube, or in the era, I mean, since we are really back in kind of Obama liberal politics mode here with the Kamala Harris campaign of just like everyone being excited, but also quite a little bit cringy. It's like Obama Girl, but now we have Haw Tua Girl for 2024.
I don't know either of those examples you're talking about.
You don't remember those?
No.
I've got a crush on Obama. That was a whole viral video.
The Chocolate Rain guy?
See, Bradley knows, but you're younger than me.
No idea.
The Chocolate Rain guy. Those two things aren't synonymous though. Obama Girl and Chocolate Rain.
Just like, but
no, I think around the same time.
Viral videos in the peak of virality in like 2007, 2008.
Shoes by Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I know Shoes, man.
Yeah.
That was my high school.
Right.
The muffins
really?
The muffins.
It was the same person.
Oh, was that the same person who did the muffins thing?
All right, we're getting sidetracked by saying
it's like
double rainbow.
We're aging ourselves.
The most viral thing since like that. Basically, it's harder to go viral now. So anyway, she got some fame. Largely just men being like weirdly creepy about her describing spitting in the sexual act. So who has her on his program? Well, it's the biggest creep.
Of course. I mean.
So the biggest creep of them all. I mean, okay, look.
Gets me every time.
He actually has removed some alcohol from the table after the Heidegger parody, I think.
Tissues are still there.
But good for her. She likes High Noon. That's perfect for someone who's 21 years old, right? I mean, just a reminder, he's in his 60s.
I'm not comfortable that he's near this woman.
You're going to be less comfortable when you hear how okay, so we're 5 minutes into the interview? He's supposed to be drinking and smoking throughout. So you'd hope that he's getting progressively more drunk and high as it goes on. We do that with our coverage.
Get the cigars that I use for talking to 20-year-old women, please.
Yeah, no. He's watering down his liquor today.
Yeah, it's already like 11 a.m., Brandon, so he's got to have had a few in by this point. Here he is trying to give advice to the Haw Tua Girl.
So, like, your origin story is Haw Tua.
Oh my God.
It's cute, but we must now
move forward.
Be very circumspect in how we allow people how long we let them play that out. And you got to play a little hardball with this, and insist on Haley, and that's why it's important also to figure out your next step. So that will probably come out just during the course of this conversation. It's better if it just happens organically. I find my mentoring life.
Your mentoring life.
Yes, it is what it is, and it's now the next thing, because there's like so much I would love to know about being a 21-year-old girl.
Like what?
I mean, first of all, you're adorable, you're cute.
Oh, no!
It's just the way of the world. I mean, you got the world by the balls when you're.
Yikes!
What? Okay. But like, your day-to-day before this happened was like working in where'd you work?
A spring factory.
A spring factory,
okay,
right.
I'm sorry. We got to go back. I just want, I'm sorry everyone, but we have to, this is like an artistic reproduction of every Me Too casting call. Like
this is almost like a parody.
It's almost, it's like people, it's like if there's like a historical, replication for kids 50 years, like, what was this moment like? What were women going through, when they go to Harvey Weinstein's couch? Not saying he's done any sexual assault, but just the energy. Let's keep going.
Go back a little bit.
I feel bad for her. She just seems so normal. Like
so
she just
normal.
seems like just like a normal girl.
The Spring Factory thing is what I'm most interested in, and nobody seems to think of it's anything other than something to move off from. You got up at the wee hours of the morning to go work in a Spring Factory. You have an interesting angle into this economy, but everyone's like, "Oh, what are you going to do next?" What they mean is, which media parasites are you going to go help sell ads for after you're done selling ads for my shit?
Yeah.
It's just the way of the world. I mean, you got the world by the. It's just the way of the world. I mean, you got the world by the balls when you're. What? Okay. But like, your day to day before this happened was like working in a. Where'd you work?
A spring factory.
A spring
Good
factory,
research.
right?
It wasn't nothing bad though. It's not like a normal factory you hear anything about. Like, it was really laid back. I enjoyed it there.
Yeah, but it's still a fucking factory. I mean,
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it got the bills paid. That's all that mattered. I didn't mind going to work every day.
which is better, that or now you're in show business?
I mean, show business is kind of nice.
Come on, show business. There's a
It's
reason.
kinda fun.
There's a
All right, we
reason
didn't go
everybody
back.
wants to be in show
this
business.
is stupid, but
Oh, yeah, it's-
yeah, I mean, whatever. He talks to her about it, but I just wanted the part where he's giving her advice here.
This would make
Okay.
a great country western song. Like this whole, like her whole life. It sounds like so interesting.
It does. Well, should we have played more of that? This was more, I don't want, like, she seems normal and nice. I want to just make fun of Bill Maher. Is this the part?
Being a
The part where
21-year-old
he calls
girl.
her, yeah.
Yes, go back 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here.
And in my mentoring life,
Your mentoring life.
yes, it is what it is, and it's now the next thing, because there's like so much I would love to know about being a 21-year-old girl.
Like what?
I mean, first of all, I mean, you know, you're adorable, you're cute. It's just the way of the world. I mean,
All
you
right,
got
we
the
got
world
it.
by
We
the.
got it. Just wanted to make sure that was
That wasn't
clear.
a question.
He is 68 years old. So
See, he
he's
uses the word-
triple her age. Triple.
He uses the word mentoring, but I have a different word in my
Yeah.
head that I don't want to say, but it rhymes with brooming.
Yeah, start with G.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm your mentor. That is.
Who else has he mentored?
Yeah, exactly. All the mentees from.
I know something else that starts with an M that comes to mind. Me too. I mean,
just think
he
if-
seems to be obsessed with cancel culture and other people getting canceled, and you start to wonder when people are that fixated on other people who are being held accountable for sexual misconduct.
You're
what's
just
going
so
on
cute, and
behind
you
the
got the
scenes.
world by the.
He's like panting. They can
That is
trailing off.
nasty.
I will say that his show, whatever I always forget what that show is called, is
Club
so different.
Random. It's so
Club
random.
Club Random is very different when he has a male guest on than when he has like a woman on. Like,
Well, how
just,
often
like,
has he had a young
vibe.
woman on? This is like the
Any
only
woman.
time I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
And this is the only time I've ever seen him on with anyone who isn't like in like politics or media or something like that. Maybe he's had like a few celebrities on, but I've never seen him get like another viral internet star on before. Like, why this particular specific woman? I mean, I'm not that familiar with the show.
Because he wanted to
and I've
mentor her,
never
Bender.
Yeah.
He's,
Very
just,
weird.
he's in his
Very weird.
mentor phase. It is what it is. Sometimes you leave one phase. We're not going to define that one, and your relationship to young women is all of a sudden a different mentor that we're going to call it. Sure.
So
He had
that's
Rachel Bilson on
okay. When was that?
December. I love the OC, so I'm just mentioning it.
Yeah, you love the OC in earnest or for ironic reasons?
I mean, it's nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did say, like, I'm sure he's had some celebrities on. Like, Rachel Bilson's she's been in Hollywood. She's in her 40s. She's not like some young viral star that can be easily impressioned or preyed upon, for example.
That's right.
You don't think Haley Welch sort of goes in line with Penn Jillette, Fabio, Tony Hawk, Larry Wilmore, Ray Romano?
Right. Like, listen, if he had a show that regularly talked to young emerging internet stars or whatever, then I'd be like, oh, this is just his show. It'd be very weird that was his particular show, but it's still not his show. But this is very off brand of this show. What more did they possibly talk about? Listen, like you're all like Emma, I think, said, she seems like a very nice girl, but she's just like a new viral internet star. Other than like her background and where she came from, what more can you talk to her about? She's not in politics or news or anything like that. Like how can you fill out an episode of his show with her? I don't see the why he would invite her on the show.
Well, you do see it though. I mean, that's the thing. Look, I'm 30 now, and I look at her and I go, she's so young. She's so young. How does a 68-year-old man, like a disgusting, dirty 68-year-old man, invite that girl on? I'm staying in the race. Jeez. when asked about going for girls who are still in college, he says,
I'm staying in the race.
I'm not trying to imply anything untoward is going on, even though I did multiple times already. But it is a little, dare I say, weird to just have a 21-year-old girl on to like drink with you on your podcast.
Yes, and he's already drunk.
Oh, yeah.
At the start, and I think he shoots it in his house. I'm not sure if that's the case, but like, again, how do you not have the foresight to be like, I don't know, like if I'm gonna have her on, I'm gonna
maybe with a panel and other women present.
Yeah.
I think if you
go on.
I mean, I just think if you make your like dominant undercurrent of your show that like canceling is bad, Me Too is bad, everyone's overreacting about that stuff, you're really just like seeding the ground so you could do stuff like this and have people go like, yeah, you see, he just talks about everything with everybody.
100%. And that's the thing is that like it's not just that she's young, it's that she's not wealthy or famous or powerful either. That's the thing that creeps me out too, is that she's put in a situation where she's also been hypersexualized by the internet. She doesn't have much money or power. She's trying to come and make something out of this moment that she was thrust into, probably financially. And he's using that opportunity to at least be flexing his power in her face. Like, I'm big in Hollywood. Now you get to be in show business. Look how fun it is.
We got to think about what we're going to do for you next, young lady.
And I'll make that happen for you as long as you make something happen for me. I mean, not saying
it might come out over this course of this conversation, actually.
But that's what has happened to thousands and thousands, if not millions of women.
I know.
And that's the thing, though. Like, no, go ahead, Brandon. I'll say.
I was going to say he didn't bring that N-word girl on. She was a viral hit for a day.
That's true. Yeah.
But so clearly, the difference here is that like what you're becoming a viral hit for.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, also listen, in entertainment and stuff, sometimes you do get scenarios where an older person and someone who is much younger than them need to work together for the purpose of whatever that particular form of entertainment or the product or whatever it is. There's a way to go about it though, professionally. And he was very weird content-wise. Like him and her sitting there already gives off like this weird sort of feeling, but if he presented it in a way that's like, oh, I'm interested in how this came about, and didn't call her young and beautiful and
having the world by the balls,
and I wish I was 21 like you, and
he was so close to just being. Go ahead.
Yeah, like there's a way to present yourself so you're not coming off creepy when you're in a situation where you are interviewing or interacting with someone who it could be awkward. And he did absolutely everything possible to do the worst job ever to make it even more and more weird and awkward.
I think he's a sort of a icon of all of these people, though, that she's going to be meeting on this media tour. I think he's just like, he outwardly shows what's inward. Because I saw clips of her on with, I think Whitney Cummings is her name, talking about crack baby stuff. And I thought Whitney Cummings' reaction to her saying, I come from, like, my mom smoked crack, was simply like, I think really insensitive and just clearly like, let's like play this for content. Whereas like, I don't know, like
Whitney Cummings, I don't think is very like a good person.
I'm not very impressed by her. I'll leave it there.
I think she's almost a little bit in the Chelsea Handler vein of female comics where
it's like, oh my God, you're a crack baby. You're wild. Like her reaction was, you're wild for saying that, not any sort of like interest in her as a person, which none of these people of course have. They're looking for the maximum amount of attention.
Well, I mean, hey, one of our VP candidates is. I'm sorry, I was going to say something mean about JD Vance, but I will say, I think the problem with all of the pausing, the Barretti pausing, really kind of hammered home. He just seemed always like 1 second away from going like, if I were 4 decades younger, you know.
I know.
Yeah,
or
like
I wish I was a teenage girl, like so I could like feel what it's like to have boobs.
So what are you doing after this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little weird for sure.
Everyone's outraged by why is Bill Maher talking to this poor woman? Owen from Boston, Mr. Melancholy, this Bill Maher interview is so uncomfortable. Rachel Dolezal, Maher got some serious Rudy Giuliani vibes in this clip. JR and Philly, young women have the world by the balls to such an extent that she was working in the Spring Factory. Ryan in California, I'm from LA and I've been around as long as Maher. I'll say he definitely has Harvey Weinstein issues. I know victims. Ryan in California, I will neither confirm nor deny if I have heard some other rumors in that regard. Amanda in the PNW says the only thing that would make Bill Maher more creepy is tinted glasses. Charlie Sheeher, Bill Maher displaying the kind of male creeper behavior I've been seen so many of my female coworkers have to deal with over the years. Recast Hugo says, good Lord, I've always thought of Bill Maher as a joke, but it's clear from that episode he's a serious alcoholic and someone needs to sit down with him and have a long talk about options for recovery. Dude's an asshole, but as someone who is an alcoholic father, I think it's clear he needs actual help with substance abuse. I wish he weren't the worst person.
He doesn't have kids.
Yeah.
I'm just glad he filmed it.
Yeah, me too.
But like, there's also that, like, there's a huge difference in like him getting drunk on this show with like another male comic in their 60s, or even another female comic close to his age, and then like him getting this drunk in a room with a 21-year-old like newly viral internet star. It's just
known only for a reference to sex.
Yep.
Yes.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.